Hey guys, Dr. J here. In the previous episode, we started unlocking the DLC achievements. We managed to complete the first two challenge rooms, but the third one is the hardest.
The last challenge room is also the longest one. It also has different difficulty settings. While it is possible to be completed on Survivor, doing it range only for one of the achievements is insanely difficult. Besides, in order to unlock all of the achievements, it's enough to play it on medium. So I'll be making both runs on this difficulty. The third challenge room is almost the size of some of the levels from the main game. Basically, it's divided in 8 different settings with various enemy combinations that will pit us against all the enemy types found in the main game. Also, unlike the other two challenge rooms, there's no puzzle solving involved. It's all combat encounters. That is not to say that we should just mindlessly rush in and fire at the enemies. There is a proper way to approach each encounter. For the first run, we should not forget that we can only use the wrench, plasmids and camera. No weapons are allowed. This achievement is the main reason why I decided to play the challenge room on medium difficulty. In the main room, we have access to all the different kinds of vendors. We'll be coming back to them quite often. So initially only one room is open. It only contains a single splicer. In each of the rooms except this first one and one more later on, there's also a Big Daddy banging on a vent. We'll have to deal with him as well in order to complete each of those rooms. Currently we only have the wrench and pistol available, but since we won't be using anything but the wrench, our other weapons don't matter. We'll be taking our time to fully explore each of the rooms and looting everything, as money and restoratives are quite important in this level. And of course we will be collecting the roses. There's a single rose in each of the rooms, so it's easy to keep track of them. We are done collecting stuff here, so the only thing left is to clobber the splicer to death with the wrench. Doing that will cause the little sister to peek out of the vents and give us some Adam, as well as all the other weapons. There's also a single upgrade station in each room, but again, it's useless for us in this run. All that's left is to step on the teleport paths and get back to the main room. Since we've now got a bit of Adam, let's go to the Gatherer's Garden and buy the damage research and range jockey tonics. We'll be using the camera quite a lot, so the bonus to the damage will be very useful. Also, it's a good idea to buy a couple of Eve hypos, since we'll be relying on the plasmids quite a bit. The second room will pit us against a single Big Daddy. Even though it's only on medium difficulty, defeating a Big Daddy with only the wrench is no easy task. Thankfully, there's a very easy and very cheap strategy to kill him with minimal effort. First things first, let's pick up the rose so we don't forget it, and then search the room for any other items. There's a dead splicer in the electrified water we can loot, but be careful, since stepping in the water will hurt us a bit. It should be quite obvious what our strategy for defeating the Big Daddy will be. All we need to do is lure the Big Daddy in the water and keep him there. The electricity will take care of the rest. Before that though, it's best to snap a few photos of him to get our research going. Since he's banging on the vent, all our photos will be action shots. And thanks to the photographer's sight tonic that we started the level with, we'll be getting quite a lot of research points. Now we need to hit him and lure him to the electrified water. I didn't expect him to start off with his special ability, so I took some damage, but as long as we don't die, it will be fine. Keep in mind that the Big Daddy won't stay stunned until he dies, so it's best to keep this column between us so he can't get out of the water. He'll constantly try to reach us, but since he can't jump, if we just stay around here, he won't be able to get away. We just need to chill and wait for him to die. It will take some time. Just make sure you don't let him up the ramp. But even if he manages to get up the ramp, you just need to lure him back into the water. You may try to hit him with the wrench a few times, just to speed up the process a bit. But it is risky, and we don't really have a reason to rush things up. Man, this is really taking a while. Okay, just a couple more ticks. Good, it should be fine to go ahead and hit him with the wrench once in order to finish him off. Jeez, he's aggressive. Just die already. Finally. Okay, we're done with this room. Let's go talk with the little sister and take the teleport pad back. After we finish each room, there will be an autosave. Now the other 6 rooms will all be open and we can choose the order in which to complete them. They do differ in difficulty though, so we'll be using a specific route. Before entering the 3rd room, I bought some first aid kits, Eve hypos and some film. And from the Gatherer's Garden, I bought the Electrobolt 3 plasmids and the Eve Saver tonic. The 3rd room is full of Houdini splicers. It is extremely annoying, so I'd rather just get it out of the way right now. If I do die here, and there's a high chance of that happening, I'll just use the autosave and cut my death out of the video. An important part of completing the room is doing as much research as possible on the Houdini splicers. Again, since we'll be using only plasmids in the wrench, any extra damage bonus we can get is very important. We are starting at the top of a big vertical shaft and we need to make our way to the bottom. Each individual Houdini splicer is not terribly difficult to kill. We just need to electrobolt him and then hit him with the wrench. The problem is we will often have to face against 3 or 4 Houdini splicers at a time. Anyways, after finishing this one off, there's a relatively difficult jump we need to perform to a nearby ledge. It's usually best to first electrobolt the splicer and then spam the camera. After that we'll have plenty of time to hit him with the wrench. Just like that. This is the first jump we'll need to perform. It's kind of difficult to get in the right position because of the staircase above us. Okay, so from here we need to make a precise jump to the ledge below. It's not far, so as long as we don't clip on anything, we should be fine. This rose was the reason we needed to come to this balcony or whatever. Now we can just keep going down until we reach the bottom. Right, so once we reach the bottom, Houdini splicers will start spawning. Like I said, no more than 3 or 4 at a time. And all we have to do is kill them all. Unfortunately, it's easier said than done. We have very limited amount of first aid kits and we'll have to keep using the camera in order to research them. There's about a dozen of them we'll have to kill. There isn't any particularly clever strategy to use here. Well, I do have a tip in case you get overwhelmed. Standing below a balcony will usually force the Houdini splicers to teleport on top of it, which will make it impossible for them to attack you. You won't be able to hurt them either, but at least it will give you a bit of a breathing room. And as you can see, it's very important to keep an eye on how much Eve you've left. If you need to use an Eve hypo, it's best to find some cover. So basically what I've been doing is getting relatively close to a splicer after he shoots his fireballs, zapping him with the Electrobolt 3 plasmids, rapidly snapping 3 or 4 photos, and then hoping I have enough time to whack him on the head. A single hit with a wrench should be enough to kill him on medium difficulty. Sometimes the Electrobolt plasmid doesn't seem to stun them, despite clearly hitting them. That's not a huge issue, it's just something that you have to keep in mind. It would be really great if we could find some first aid kits right about now. Also, I should really use an Eve hypo now. So there are both fire and ice enhanced Houdini splicers. But that's just a cosmetic difference. They operate the same way and have the same stats. We should be about halfway through them. Okay, so this right here is the place I was talking about, where you can rest for a bit. Almost got hit by those fireballs. Well, we fully researched them, so at least I won't have to worry about using the camera anymore. And we only need to kill a couple more Houdini splicers. Yeah, I think it's just these two. Yep, it's only this ice Houdini splicer left. We only need to lure him somewhere we can actually reach him, and we're done. This looks like a good place. And that's it. We are finally done. All that's left is to use the weapon upgrade station and go collect the reward from the little sister. Well, actually we don't gain anything by using the upgrade stations, but there's no reason not to use them. Okay, so we can now use the teleport pad and go back to the central hub. We should buy some first aid kits, some more film for the camera, and then get the target dummy plasmid from the Gatherer's Garden. That one will be extremely important in the next room. In the next room, we'll be facing against many turrets, so we'll have to use the target dummy in order to be able to easily hack them. The electric bolt would work as well, but the target dummy is simply way more efficient. We'll start off by researching the Big Daddy, and then we'll do the same with all the turrets. It is very important to get enough research points to be able to instantly hack them. It's not a must, but there are a lot of turrets, so having to hack them manually would be insanely annoying. Unfortunately, photoing so many turrets will take a bit of time. There should be enough turrets to get you there, but just in case, try to get the roaming splicers in the frame as well, so you get a multiple subjects research bonus. Don't worry too much about finding a splicer to use though. Like I said, there are enough turrets, so don't waste time trying to line them up. Also, it might not be a bad idea to try to memorize the locations of the turrets. It will be useful when we are doing the time attack. I seem to be missing a couple of turrets. Should I just go ahead and start the room though? Nah, it's better to find them. That splicer is going towards the turrets. It should be enough. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it took me some time, but we're done. Let's switch to the target dummy and drop down. The plan is to get to a turret, use the target dummy, hack it, then proceed to the next one. Unfortunately, the target dummy won't work on the flamethrower turrets in the walls, since we can't get behind them. we'll have to use the electric bolt plasmid for them. There are several first aid kits scattered throughout the room in case you need them. If we do this room correctly, however, we shouldn't be losing too much health. We don't really have to worry about the splicers. The turrets will take care of them. The clear condition is to eliminate all enemies in the room. Since hacking the turrets makes them friendly, that satisfies the condition. As for the Big Daddy, we only need to lure him in front of however many turrets it takes until he dies. Overall, with the proper strategy, this room is extremely easy. Yeah, just be careful with the splash damage from the rocket turrets. And as always, keep in mind that using the if height will take some time, and during this time you won't be able to use any plasmids. I apologize, I'm not executing the strategy in the cleanest possible manner, but even then, it's not difficult to complete the room. There shouldn't be that many turrets left. Oh, and there's also a first aid station we can destroy to pick up some first aid kits, which for some reason it didn't drop. That was weird. Anyways, I think this is the final turret. Once we hack it, we only need to finish off the Big Daddy and we're done with this room. So let's go ahead and hit the Big Daddy with the wrench and then lure him in front of a turret. I'll still have to take some damage from the Big Daddy in order to force the turrets to attack him. I guess we could have bought the security bullseye plasmid before starting this room. It might have made things a bit easier. As you can see, the turret simply annihilated him. Damn, that was fast. Like I said, it's not a difficult room as long as we use the target dummy. Now we can go ahead and use the upgrade station. And after that, there's still this room's rows we need to pick up. It's hidden quite well, but as long as you remember it's right across from the upgrade station, it should be easy to find. There we go. Now we should go back to the vents and exit this room. Oops. Seems like I've missed one of the turrets. Oh, it was this one. I was sure I hacked it. Anyways, we're done now, so we can just collect our rewards and teleport back to the central hub. In this intermission, we only need to replenish our restoratives a bit and buy some more film. Next room will be relatively tame. So in the next room, we will only be fighting spider splicers. As usual, let's start with taking some photos of the spider splicers. We should be getting quite a lot of research points here, since they tend to stick to the ceiling, which from our perspective is the floor. This will both get us very close to them and we will also get an action shot bonus. To be honest, it's not really necessary to completely research them. We'll be able to easily kill them with only the first 2 damage research bonuses. But like I said, there's no reason to rush things. There are quite a lot of them, so it shouldn't take us too much time. Yay, the extra nutrition 3 tonic will certainly come in handy. I'm not sure if I was able to convey my sarcasm, but just to make sure, it was sarcasm. There shouldn't be that many more spider splicers left. That's strange, I was sure there were enough to fully research them. Not that it matters, but still. I'll just double check to see if we haven't missed any of them. Okay, yeah, here's one. And that should be it, I guess? No, there's one more there. And this should really be the last one. Just having one final look. I'm actually kind of annoyed I wasted so much time. Let's just go down and start killing them. The best way to deal with them is to shoot them with the electroboats in order to make them fall down, and then hit them with the wrench. If we are lucky, they may even fall in the water after we shock them and die instantly. So far so good. Like I said, this room is relatively easy. There's definitely no risk of dying. The only variable is how long it will take us to complete it, since the spider splicers don't always like to cooperate and come at you. Case in point, there are still a couple of them, but I can't seem to find them. I don't hear them either. Where are they hiding? Okay, now I hear one of them. There she is, and of course I'm out of Eve. Okay, I think this was the last one. The only other goal we have in this room is to find the rose. It is located under a bench right next to the upgrade station. Here it is. We are now ready to leave. Let's collect our rewards and teleport back to the central hub. We'll go straight to the Circus of Values and buy some more Eve Hypos. After that, we'll need to buy the Incinerate 2 plasmids from the Gatherer's Garden. We'll need it for the next room. Our next challenge will be a fight against sentry bots. While you may wonder why we need the Incinerate plasmids to fight them, it won't actually be used against them at all. In the next room there will be a lot of ice, so we can use the plasmids to melt it. It will also be very helpful when we have to kill the Big Daddy at the end. As usual, we'll be starting off with some Big Daddy research and then we'll drop straight down through the chute. The only other entity in this room right now is a Stuggy Splicer, but we don't really have to take any photos of him. It's irrelevant. But since it won't take that much time anyways, I'll take a few photos of him. Okay, it's time to drop down into the room. In this room, we'll be again relying on the target's dummy, since an alarm will start the moment we drop down and won't stop until we kill that Stuggy Splicer. We can use that in order to max our research on the sentry bots, since when we destroy them, more will spawn. I was hoping we'll get 2 sentry bots at once, so we can get the multiple subjects bonus, but it seems one of them got stuck somewhere. Can't really say I'm surprised about that. Unfortunately, we'll need to do some more research in order to get the automatic hacking perk. Here's the other sentry bot. Hopefully this one will be enough to get us there. I don't think it will be quite enough. Yeah, we'll have to destroy one of them and wait for a new one to spawn. Okay, great. We have 2 in the frame now. It should become much easier to research them now. Looks like we can't do any more research on these two, so let's destroy them and wait for new ones. Wow, that was quick. Perfect. We can now zap them, hack them, and then go to the Tuggy Splicer to stop the alarm. The sentry bots won't stop spawning until we kill him, so it's best to do that as quickly as possible. It may look kind of disorienting, but there's no real way to get lost here. Just follow the path and you'll reach him eventually. After dealing with him, we're free to explore the room. The first thing we should do is melt the ice in the corner near where the splicer was, in order to collect these rooms as rows. There are a lot of stuff here in the crates and under the ice. When you feel you've collected enough, feel free to start a fight with the Big Daddy. The best way to deal with him is to use Incinerate a couple of times and leave the sentry bots you've hacked to do their job. Just refresh the Incinerate every once in a while, and if you run out of sentry bots, there are others trapped beneath the ice. Obviously, using the wrench will make the fight go quicker. Now let's collect our rewards and port back to the central hub. I'll just do a quick once over the area. There's nothing particularly important we need to collect here, but there are quite a lot of supplies. And since we're not in any particular hurry, we might as well pick them up. I'm only looking for supplies that are out in the open. I won't bother melting the ice. And I think we're pretty much done here. Before entering the next room, let's buy some more EVE hypos, fuel for the camera and the telekinesis plasmid. In the next room we will be facing pretty much every enemy type. The telekinesis will be useful since there are several canisters and barrels that we can toss at them. The room is appropriately named All Kinds of Splicers. Let's get some research done and then drop down the chute. This encounter will mostly be about fighting splicers, so the electric boat will do most of the heavy lifting. And like I keep saying, researching splicers is not strictly required. It helps, but if you find this tedious, you can absolutely skip doing it. Man, we almost got the final level of research for the spider splicers. Oh wait, he had one last photo in him. Great, we fully researched the spider splicers now. It won't really help us since we were already one-shotting them, but it's good for my OCD. This turret is actually malfunctioning, so you won't have to worry about it shooting at you. We can, however, hack it, so we'll be able to use it against the Big Daddy when we get to him. And here's the Big Daddy himself. Too bad. Just one more photo and we would have been able to finish his research level as well. Anyways, we're done with the photo session, so let's go down and start the party. I prefer to go around the room in a clockwise fashion, but it doesn't really matter how you approach it. Just clean up the splicers first and then start on the Big Daddy. There are also electrified splicers, which we obviously can't hurt with the electrobolt. But they are just as squishy as the regular splicers, so it's easy to kill them with just the wrench. And since we're passing by the upgrade station anyways, let's go ahead and use it. Okay, we're back to hunting splicers now. Yeah, there's even a nitro splicer here. He kind of surprised me, so I didn't even use my camera on him. And we're being attacked by a Houdini splicer again. Oh, here he is. Now where did he go? Thankfully I had just enough E for one more electric bolt. It would have been extremely annoying to have to chase after him. Let's see, are there any more splicers left? Okay, there's another nitro splicer here. Wow, this one's a bit tougher. He didn't die immediately. Interesting. As far as I'm aware, there is no RNG in the damage calculations, so the previous one must have taken some damage at some point. We should be just about done with the splicers. We can go collect the rose now and then use telekinesis to soften up the Big Daddy with explosives a little, before luring him to the turrets and finishing him off. And I'm hoping this really was the last splicer. So I'll start the fight with the Big Daddy with the target dummy plasmid, just to keep him occupied. Then I'll switch to the telekinesis and start grabbing the explosives that we have laying around. I forgot to recast the target dummy. Great, that was quite a lot of avoidable damage. Let's pick up this barrel. I guess his health should be low enough to just finish him off now. Let's leave the rest to the turret. Pretty easy stuff. Time to collect the reward from the little sister and get out of here. Same as always, we'll buy a few with hypos, some more film, and the Human Inferno 2 tonic from the Gatherer's Garden. In the next room, we'll be fighting several Big Daddies. Obviously, we won't be able to straight up defeat them with only the wrench, despite playing only on medium difficulty, but we'll still need to fight a little. Which is why the bonus damage to the incinerate plasmid from the Human Inferno tonic will go a long way. As will the bonus damage from fully researching the Big Daddies. Unlike the previous room, in this one we kinda have to be thorough with researching all enemies. Okay, we're done with this one. Several more to go. By the way, we don't have to research them from up here. They're not hostile until we attack them, so we could drop down and get up close. Still, it is a bit more convenient doing it from here since there are no obstacles. Here's the upgrade station for the room. Okay, I think we're done with the research. Let's go down and first pick up all the items we can. Most importantly, we need to collect the rose that's hidden behind a fallen wooden beam near the little sister vent. And here it is. After that, we can use the upgrade station and then head straight to the first aid station. There should be a Big Daddy walking near it. Beyond him should be another Big Daddy just patrolling. The one further away from us is of the rosy variety, so if we provoke him with, say, the incinerate plasmid, he'll start shooting at us. We can then take cover behind the Big Daddy near us and cause them to fight each other. Let's try taking a few photos while we wait. Nope, we fully researched those two. Okay, so the Rosie will kill the bouncer type, and we can next lure him to another Big Daddy and repeat this process. As long as he's still alive, we should be able to take care of most of the Big Daddies here in this way. I used the target dummy plasmids in order to lure the bouncer near the Rosie and make them start the fight a little bit quicker. We shouldn't forget to keep the Rosie dotted all the time, since we need him to be low enough so we can deal with him after he's killed all the other Big Daddies. It is quite a first aid kit intensive strategy, but we should have enough to last us the entire room. If we don't, we can always just use the health station, either to buy some healing or get some more first aid kits. I didn't actually expect him to die so quickly from the dot. Well, there's just one final bouncer type we need to kill. It shouldn't be too difficult. If we keep using the target dummy and the incinerate plasmid, it shouldn't take too long. Don't forget you can stack the dot up to 3 times. Did he just try to sneak up behind us? Yeah, I think so. Alternatively, if for some reason you're running out of Eve, you can use the wrench. If you've been researching the Big Daddies, you should be doing quite a lot of damage with the wrench as well. This is taking quite a while. I should have not been using so much dots on the Rosie. Well, we're nearly halfway there. We obviously have enough Eve hypos and first aid kits, so just relax and enjoy the barbecue. I messed up a bit here. I'll probably take some damage. I couldn't cast the target dummy before he started his charge attack. Just a bit more. And we're done. This is supposed to be the most difficult room, but with this strategy, it shouldn't cause you much trouble. Now let's go collect the reward and teleport back to the central hub for the final time. Now, although we've completed all 8 rooms of terror, the challenge room's not over yet. So make sure to top up on restoratives and only then approach the door to the chamber of the little sister. I also crafted an auto-hack tool in order to hack the circus of values, just to make sure I have enough money in order to buy all the supplies I need. Now when we approach the little sister's chamber, there will be a blackout and several waves of splicers will start teleporting in. We'll be facing against every splicer we've encountered so far, culminating with a battle against the Big Daddy. To save yourself some trouble, it's best to keep a target dummy active at all times. It will make the fight go much faster and easier. We'll be starting off slow with just some sluggish splicers. After them, the difficulty will start ramping up. We don't really need to use Electric Bolt against the Leadhead, Thuggish and Houdini splicers, since the range is more than powerful enough to deal with them on its own. But the Spider splicers are quite tanky, so the extra damage from the Electric Bolt is quite useful. But it's not a bad idea to use the bolt on the Nitro splicers as well, just so they don't run away when you get near them. And don't forget to keep refreshing the target dummy, of course. Here come the Houdini splicers. We should be more than halfway through this gauntlet. Okay, so this is the final wave before the Big Daddy, and conveniently it includes sentry bots. Obviously we'll be hacking those and using them against the Big Daddy. And here comes the Big Daddy himself. Now let's hack the 2 sentry bots. And we will again use the incinerate plasmid against the Big Daddy. If possible, it's best to lure him inside the oil spill and ignite it, but it won't add that much to the DPS, so don't worry too much about it. As usual, the sentry bots are not really doing their best. And it doesn't help that the sentry bot pulls back the Big Daddy's aggro very quickly, so it's kinda difficult to properly time the casts of the target dummy. Still, he's nearly dead now. Just a little bit more. Once the Big Daddy goes down, we can get back to the door of the chamber and finally rescue the little sister. We've unlocked 3 of the 4 achievements for this challenge room, and the last one remaining is the speedrun achievement. After the end screen, we'll start this challenge room again, and this time we won't have to worry about weapon restrictions.
Well, this is it for today's episode. Thank you for spending your time with me, and if you have enjoyed it, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. It will really help me a lot. Also, if you have any comments or suggestions, I would love to hear from you. Take care, and until next time.